Hey, 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 hey.
Hello.
Woohoo!
Hey,
Hello,
Hey,
everyone.
everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
peace and love.
Wake up. Hello, my sisters. How are you
Linda,
doing?
what are you drinking? What did you
Yeah,
have?
for real. Give me some.
Girl, you all the way live, girl.
I'm
Yeah.
looking,
Full
I'm
of
looking for
life,
some.
full
Hey,
of
look,
life.
I left my water. I was like, where's my water? That's okay, girl. It's I'm on fumes right now, believe it or not, but that's okay.
Mhm.
How's everybody doing?
Good afternoon. How's everybody? I'm great.
Doing amazing.
I can't
Can
hear
Peace
you,
and love,
Charlene. Come on,
everybody.
you
Charlene.
hear me?
Pump up the volume. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, today we have our second Saturday, and the ladies are pretty busy today. Why? The film is the movie, the
Play.
play.
That's right.
Yeah.
Grease with a little dab of that mumbo sauce is now
Oh,
playing,
that's
and
gonna
our
be so
girl
good.
is out there doing what she do as the executive director and all that good stuff. And we want you to go out and see that play. And set the Lincoln,
Is it the link?
Yes.
the
Yeah, in
Lincoln
DC.
Theater right
Yeah,
here in Washington D.C. on U Street.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's gonna
and
And
be
we
you
so
have
good. And it's so listen, I need to get my tickets. I'm just gonna be honest. I didn't get my ticket yet because I was like, I'm in North Carolina, but I'm trying to make it back. So maybe Sunday I'll be there. Linda, we should go together. We all should go.
yeah.
yeah.
Each
Yeah.
version
Yes.
is so different, you know?
Yeah, it's a fun. You need some laughter in your life,
Yeah.
right now.
Mhm. Yeah.
So sick of the sadness, and I'm so
Oh yeah.
sick of the
Mhm.
stuff. So the negativity. So yeah, you need to just sit back and just kind of relax and laugh for a little bit.
And let your hair down.
Let your hair down.
Yeah.
Get it out.
Uh,
And
also,
it's
I wanted to
amazing,
just,
our sister.
I just want to tell y'all real quick that it's so fine that Wyoming and Dr. Lavelle is doing Grease at the Lincoln because that was called Black Broadway back in the day.
That's
So it's so
right.
Wow.
exciting to see that DC Black Broadway is back at the
Back on
Lincoln.
Broadway. Right.
That is so
Yes.
And
exciting.
DC
partnering with
Broadway.
Lincoln. That's powerful. And they're partnering because that whole row, like you
Mm,
said, was Black
yes,
Broadway.
it was.
To have
So
Lincoln,
that's so exciting.
yeah, very
Yes.
exciting.
Yes, it is. And we have some guests today because Peggy, our president of Sisters for Sisters Network,
Network.
she's out networking right now. Where is you know what? I didn't get a chance to
I
ask
didn't
her.
get a chance to ask where she
Where
at.
is
Where
she?
she at, Diamond?
She's out supporting a sister today who's launching one of her programs. I'll find that information out for you, but I'm so happy to be here in her
We're happy.
state.
Yes, we
So,
have Diamond Petty with us. Yay!
yay, yes,
Woo!
I get to be here for on behalf of our Madam President. So,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Well,
And
she got a great
and
report
You told me to keep it
tonight.
this way.
and
Yeah.
don't move now. Don't move now.
That
Okay,
looks
I
so
won't.
good,
I won't.
Kathy.
Okay.
That looks so good.
we have all kinds of little
Okay.
technical things today.
Okay.
And
They
Kathy
can
is
hear that.
here, and she is sitting in for Wyoming.
Wyoming. How
And
appropriate is it
and
that
she's also a part of the Health and Wellness Committee who is sponsoring today.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Linda, we forgot to say how fitting that Kathy is sitting in for Wyoming when she herself is in the arts theater and she's an actor.
Yes.
One of our
Yeah.
famous actors right here in the DMV.
We
And
have Black Broadway.
DMV is that's DC, Maryland, and Virginia. But we say Maryland.
Merlin. Or the DMV.
The DMV.
Yes, we are represented
It's the same.
today with Black Broadway and Black Screen as well today because
Yeah.
we have a guest who is major in our Black Screen and who has a produce of many movies. So we're going to hear from her, and we're going to talk on an interesting subject of dementia. And Kathy invited her today, and that is Miss Mignon Pinson.
Yes.
My mouth, I still got toothpaste in it. Okay, just want to let y'all know. And I can't find my water.
Oh no.
Everything is sticking. But anyway, My teeth white.
You still
Yeah.
look
Oh
beautiful.
yeah, I
You
mean,
look beautiful.
yeah, you
Thank
did
you.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, and Kathy, of course, she's part of Black Broadway as well. So we are, here in DC, we have a conglomerate of beautiful, wonderful plays that we need to support. And we try to bring as many of them on 4Sisters Live because we want everyone to know, and everyone that's watching, I'm asking you to like and share so that we can get those algorithms going and get some more people to watch. We want you to comment, ask your questions, and also please take the time to contact 4 people. Any kind of way you can do it. Contact four
Yes.
people and tell them that the
Wonderful.
show is on.
Mhm.
4Sisters Live is on Facebook, okay?
And YouTube.
And YouTube, right? Four
Yes.
Sisters Live, the number 4 Sisters Live, just like you did. Just let them know because this is Health and Wellness Saturday, and my name is Linda, and we're going to go right up. My name is Linda, and
I'm then Charlene.
And I am Diamond.
And hi, everybody. My name is Kathy Muhammad.
And we are
Four
Four
Sisters
Sisters
Live.
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 Almost forgot that. Our executive producer she's going to be checking in on us. So, hot topics. What we got, Charlene? Anything we want to discuss today that's hot and new?
Yeah,
so much stuff going on in this
I
world.
know.
I'll just give you
away
one
from-
topic because we got 2 wonderful guests today.
Yeah, listen. I don't want to so much because we got this political thing, but I just have to talk about it. It's a hot topic, who is our next president going to be? Let's just be real. That is a hot topic.
It's a hot topic.
And many of the people that are on the Democrat side, they're like, we can't say either because they have no clue. You know why? Because the announcement probably won't be made until next year sometime when things are getting closer. But yeah, there is some talk that we are looking for a new president on the Democratic ticket. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's that is hot, and all the legalities with the other side, with the Republican side.
It don't exist.
It's like, okay, we have to focus on whoever you want to be as a president who's going to represent you and your values. Just keep that in mind.
Please, your
Who represents you and your values. That's who you should be voting. Then most importantly, please
so nice
tell all your friends and family, start talking to them now to get out and vote because it is so important. And really, our life depends on it. And your children's lives depend on it. And your children's lives depend on it.
And I would add, you may not agree with both parties, but you want to get as close to the party that is as close to what you believe, right?
That's
So
what I mean.
sometimes it's the lesser of the 2 evils. I hate to say that, but we had that happen to us a few elections ago. And so we don't want to make that mistake again. That's all I can say.
That's what I say. Whoever represents you and your values, you're right.
Well, guess what? And whoever represents your values, that one obviously did win. So we got to see what America thought. So that's why it's so important. If you don't believe it, and your people don't believe it, it's better to walk that walk and punch that ticket than talk that talk. Okay, your talk is cheap because we will get to see the end results November.
Yes, we will. Yes,
which is around the corner.
It's right around the corner. So we will be talking about it more. So every single Saturday we'll be talking about it.
We definitely will.
Next, we have our birthdays. Well, our sister, Madam President, she told me to tell everybody, happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday to you!
Long until we're gonna just say happy birthday, and Dante's gonna throw up something. I'm gonna blow. I'm gonna toot. She said next month. Happy birthday to everyone in September. If you have a birthday, please have a happy, blessed birthday month of September.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
God bless you. Yes, that's what we want to do. And I looked on my calendar. I really didn't have any legendary birthdays for this week, but I can say that we had Jacob Lawrence. He was born. Oh, let's see, what was that? Jacob Lawrence. He's an artist which was born in 1917, and he was an educator. So we want to say happy heavenly birthday to Jacob Lawrence, one of our ancestors that was an educator, and we want to remember him. I'll give one other, which is on the 12th, which is Jesse Owens, our track and born in 1913. So,
wow.
Yeah, so we want to don't forget our ancestors and those persons who have paved the way for us, and remember their birthdays. All right, moving right along. We got hot picks. Dante, put up our hot picks. We got quite a few.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Well, number one, we have Grease with a side of mumbo sauce at the Lincoln Theater. And you can get your tickets, www.thelincolndc.com. Black Broadway. You don't want to miss it. It's so funny. And if you remember the other Grease, the original Grease, just think this with a mumbo sauce. Stage play. And it's on from September 8th through the 10th. Next. Oh, this is an event that I am involved in, co-founder of this Chase the Dream, Arts and Beauty. This is our 8th anniversary, where beauty meets diversity. Please come on out on the 8th for our 8th annual Pan-African Evening of Cultures. Put on your best attire, your African attire from wherever you're from or you think you might want to be from, on Saturday, October the 7th, from 6 p.m. to midnight. We have music, dinner, live entertainment. We'll have a bead show, an African bead fashion show. We have an awards that we'll be giving. We'll have our very own Dr. Tony Broader will be receiving an award. Our very own Juanita C. Britton, Busy Bee, will be in the house. So you don't want to miss this. Get your tickets on Eventbrite right now because they are selling out. This is always a sold out event. Helena McConan is our partner, and she is also a member of 4Sisters Network. And that's how I met her. That's how we got started. And our very own MC, Dr. Renee Allen. Next. Okay, it's a Purple Affair. This is creative storytelling, live music, food, mix and mingle, educational resources. This is a butterfly release at 4:30, and this is Sunday, October the 1st, from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. All right, next. What do we have here? Restoring the Shattered. The little girl within, becoming her, healed, empowered, and restored. This is September the 9th. So this is coming up today. So it's going to be at the, what is this? I'm sorry.
It's going to be at Purpose Push Empire, but it's going to be in Odenton, Maryland.
Yeah, right. That's 1350 Blair Drive, Suite F in Odenton, Maryland. So please support this wonderful event. Next. This was last night. This was the book launch for our very own Terry Tabor, author, painter.
Yeah, it was great.
Who was there?
Yeah.
I missed it.
I was there. It was lovely. It was a lovely event. I loved it.
I'm sure she still have books, so please support Terry because I got to get my book because I couldn't.
I got to get my book.
I couldn't attend, but I have her art, and you don't want to not have her in your collection. She is a member of 4Sisters Network.
Yeah, and you love her book because not only does she have beautiful illustrations, she also has words of motivation on every page as well. It's a beautiful book.
That is awesome. All right. Next. the National Domestic Violence Rally. This is an annual event. Sister Wyoming is one of the, she's one of the coordinators, members of this organization. October 6th, 2023, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're going to be on the Capitol Hill. We're starting at the Capitol Hill Seventh-day Adventist Church, and we're going to march to the United States Capitol. Okay, so you're not walking alone. This is all about making awareness of domestic violence, which October is Domestic Violence Month. So please come out and support this event. You'll get to hear wonderful speakers I've attended, and you get to see the victims, and you'd be surprised who those victims are, not who they are. There are people right in Congress who are actually being in a situation of domestic violence. You just don't know. So please come out. It's eye-opening. It's not just women, it's also men. And so, and of course, we know it's children. So please come out. Pure Hearts Restored Incorporated is one of the sponsors. Okay, next. We have our 10th annual Leading Within Conference, ROSA's Destination Celebration, the 10th year anniversary with our very own Sharon Parker. She's also a member of 4Sisters Network, and she has, this is on location, September 16th. 10 a.m. is the pre-conference, and it's Puerto Rico, January 12th through the 15th. So it's a retreat. You don't want to miss it. So please come out and support our sisters. Next. Our very own Barbara A., the Honorable Barbara A. Robinson of the Baltimore Metro Women's Business Center and the 4Sisters Network will present our very own Barbara A. Robinson. It's a business development mentorship accelerator. And this is September 18th and 20th, 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Morgan State University, Earl Graves School of Business, 4100 Hillen Road, and that room number 103, Baltimore, Maryland. So you don't want to miss this event. Thank you. Ooh, we have another Seniors and Friends Social, shining the light on dementia. And we found out from our dear Kathy that this is September is Dementia Awareness Month, and we will be talking about that soon as well today. This event is November 4th, 2023, from 2 to 6 p.m. The CAAPA Cultural Center, 1900 Tucker Road, Fort Washington, Maryland. You don't want to miss this. This is by our very own organization. Swag is one of the sponsors, which is Kathy's.
Kathy Muhammad. Yeah.
Hey,
I love that event.
All right.
Swag, I forgot. I know it's about young women. What's the name
of it? It's serving women across generations.
Serving women across generations. Awesome. And she has these wonderful young ladies that are going to present. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any up next? That is it. All right. We made it. We made it. Okay. Yeah. Without further ado, I just want to, I'm going to have Kathy, who is our guest host. This is a friend of hers. And sister friend, I'm going to let Kathy introduce our first.
Okay.
Today.
All right. So I would like you all to meet a powerhouse. She is a producer, director, writer. She's very talented, and she has done a lot of work in the DMV, and also she's done work in Hollywood as well. So I'd like you all to meet producer extraordinaire, everything. She's just the best. I'm telling you right now, if you want a quality product, a quality film, quality director, she's your go-to. I'd like to introduce you all to Mignon Pinson.
Yay!
Welcome, Mignon. Love the name.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. How are you? Was
I am great,
uh,
actually.
welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you could fit us in your schedule because you know how I know you are a busy lady when it comes to those films. And I see all those stars behind you. I know you got a bunch of stars looking forward as well today. But tell us a little about you and how you got started.
I am a native Washingtonian. I started doing, I branched into the entertainment industry over 35 years ago.
Hmm.
So back then, I started in the industry and I'm a SAG member. And then I started my daughters, into the entertainment industry. In fact, one of my daughters, she's been on your show before. Her name is Maya J. Penson.
Yes, we remember her.
So we've launched, starting out, we launched careers. And then when Maya started diving into the entertainment industry, my oldest daughter's into the entertainment industry. We started writing movies over COVID. Maya started writing movies over COVID, but we
Mhm.
started writing and producing movies, and Kathy's been in quite a few of them, actually.
Yay.
But yeah, so that's basically how we got started.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about your new feature film called The Christmas Room? And I know it talks about dementia. So can you tell us how did you approach that topic to be used in that movie?
Okay, let me go back to how I approached it. I have firsthand experiences with some family and friends of family members of theirs who have had Alzheimer's and short-term memory loss and dementia, all three of them. And witnessing some of the symptoms and being exposed to it, I was hearing and seeing a lot of people, especially when you become a senior citizen, they're passing it off or pacifying as, oh, it comes with old age. Some of the symptoms, I forgot this, I forget this, or they can't recognize certain things or recall certain conversations
Wow.
as it relates to early stages of memory loss or short-term memory loss. So that's very important to me. And I wanted to get the message out into the community because everything that people are going through relating to forgetfulness and things like that is not
Mhm.
always tied into old age. And if you can get diagnosed early on, you may be able to get a grasp on it earlier. This is actually tied to dementia,
Mhm.
where they have treatments going on instead of pacifying it and just letting your loved ones, get older and age with the, situation and the symptoms of you thinking it's just old age and it's not. So saw a lot of people pacifying that. And I decided, Maya and I, we wrote the movie, The Christmas Room, and we looped it around and tied it into Christmas because we had to think of a theme behind it. So in this movie, it's about a young lady who comes home. Maya plays a role of Grace. She comes home from college, and she's from a tight knit, loving family. She discovers that dad, brother, and grandmom have all been, doing what they wanted to do and just going on with life. But granddad, something is going on with granddad. His health has been naively overlooked, and grandma is naive to the situation because she's never dealt with it before. So she's thinking all of granddad's forgetfulness is tied to, oh, it's old age, and it really isn't. So by the time that Grace, the role of Grace, by the time she's pushing and encouraging granddad to seek medical care, it's almost like, it's too late. And I don't want to give too much away, but it's almost like it's
Mhm.
too late. And that's my main purpose of encouraging, getting the word out as much as we can to encourage people to go get diagnosed, go get checked out because they could have medication that can prolong it or, just buy you more time or help out. But so that's my main take behind writing the movie and
Mhm.
to bring more awareness to families who have gone through dementia and Alzheimer's. We know what it's like to deal with that and to care for our loved ones. But this was more intended to bring more awareness to those families who will go through it, unfortunately.
Mhm. Yeah, because we, just like you said, we're being more and more educated and this is a good way to learn about it through movies because just like you said, we just kind of write it off as, oh, we're getting old, that he's getting old, like it's supposed to happen. And this is not the way it always supposed to happen. But when it happens, we need to, I guess, the sooner you get help, the better you know.
Yeah.
The family will know how to deal with it as
how
well
it's
as the
handled,
person.
and to
But
put it
you
on.
know what? Also, Magan, I don't know if you realize. I know when I was pregnant, I seen a lot of women pregnant in their 30s, and they were like, and I'm like, I'm forgetting stuff ever since I've had this kid or whatever. But you're still forgetting at 40 and 50, and you're like, should be a concern,
Hmm.
if it's not, and you're taking different, asawaga, anything that will help boost the memory or, kind of
I'm
make sure
taking
that we're
it.
not forgetting it. I know. So like I take it too, like, whoa.
Yeah.
But a lot of it too, I'm doing some research about like your mental health and these PTSDs and things like that.
Mhm.
And there is a cross reference of people that have gone through a lot of stress in their life, um, are
Hmm.
actually getting dementia or Alzheimer's, and they're highly affected. These could be the smartest people in the world, but they say
Mhm.
when they like do not communicate with other people and they just withdraw and they hold on to a lot of resentment or whatever, they
Mhm.
can be smiling on the outside, but on the inside they're like they're hot, they're mad. They said a lot of those people in this study are they find do um, have that same gene or something happens where the brain serves cells are deteriorating. That's crazy. So I wanted to ask you, how do you feel when you saw your characters actually living out that same character that you saw within your own family member?
So, one, the story is not a true story. It didn't,
Hmm.
this movie wasn't written from a true story perspective.
Hmm.
But to see the characters actually act out their roles, it was amazing. The Christmas Room movie is actually it's a very heartfelt, sentimental movie with light humor, and it they were absolutely amazing. The gentleman who's playing the role of Granddad, his name is Fahim, and he's phenomenal. The his wife Diane Powell, she's phenomenal, and she's the character that's actually in Naive. She's been denial. Grace is played by the role of Maya J. Pinson. And when we started writing the movie, I started researching. And at the time when we wrote the movie over a year ago, I was researching the youngest age. And back then, the youngest age was, I was blown away, 51 years old, because
51?
wait, hold that. 51 was the youngest last year. But I'm still researching because I'm still dealing with certain issues with some of my loved ones.
Yeah.
And there has been a young man in Japan who has broken the world history, and it blew me away because he's 19 with Alzheimer's. Now,
Wow.
I have a 19-year-old daughter, and some of you have had 19-year-old children or nieces and nephews. And I thought about that. And if you research it, he's in Japan, but I thought about it and I said, wow, that's like me asking my daughter or my children or our loved ones at 19, can you stop and bring milk home or eggs home? They forget. They're looking
Mhm.
at us, I'm telling them, can you clean your room up? Go do this. You're forgetting. We would never think to associate or link it to Alzheimer's,
Hmm.
um, or dementia at 19. We would be thinking, what is wrong with you? You know,
Mhm.
Right.
I just asked you that 5 minutes ago, but he's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So therefore, he does not recognize. And that's just, whew, I just tell you, it's just,
That's heartbreaking
So,
to have
Mhm.
a
Wow.
child, at
yeah.
19. Because I
mhm,
also had heard, and like everything else, our diet has a lot to do with it as well, especially managing this condition. So, but at 19, that is
mhm.
shocking.
So, Mignon, can I ask you a couple questions? Is there agencies that, I mean, because I'm assuming that you're awareness, but is there an agency specifically that handles or does awareness to dementia and Alzheimer's? Is there a national agency or something like that?
There are quite a few of them out there, a bunch of them actually. And I want to let the record reflect. I do not specialize in dementia, or I'm not engaging in any of the organizations. I just started
Okay.
doing more research that would help educate me a little bit more for this
Hmm.
movie that I was writing. But
Okay.
in conjunction with my walk and my experiences with some of the family members or friends of the families that I've experienced and witnessed, but in some of the symptoms, but they do have a whole bunch of organizations out there and agencies. But one of the things that I'm strongly urging any and everybody, one, you have to have patience, so that combination with someone having memory loss, even the early stages, if you pay attention, there, there are a lot of people who are having memory loss, short-term memory loss, who get up
Yes.
and say, I'm going in the kitchen and get something. And by the time you make it from your third level floor upstairs with these large houses all the way down, you forgot what you went on before.
Yes.
It's like I have to go all the way back downstairs just to remember why I was going upstairs. That's what I do.
And
Yeah.
interesting, I've been to the doctor with someone who has been diagnosed with memory issues. And when they were testing them, I said to myself, when they came back, they ask you questions. It's interesting how they do it. They'll tell you a story, just talking to the actual patient, and they'll tell you a story, and they'll say something like, for example, I was in Ohio, and while they're filling out the paperwork, I was in Ohio, and my family and we went to Red Lobster for dinner. What's today's date? So the patient was, trying to think of the date, but then they went back later and said, "Gosh, what state did I say I went to? These are the things." And then it was so many questions, and I'm sitting here to myself like, "Lord, Mignon, you may have a little slight memory loss because some people don't remember." But these are the questions that they're asking. They have their ways of, diagnosing you, but before they usually introduce MRI to really get the official diagnosis that your brain could be deteriorating on this side of the left side, right side. But yeah, but they are agencies and organizations, and people
And
can.
then Charlene, you talked about taking like supplements, but I do know there's brain exercises that we can do, and I think we need to because we're so dependent on technology
Yes.
Right.
to answer our questions and stuff. So we're losing brain power. I
We're
mean,
That's
I know
losing
true.
for me,
brain
I'm
cells.
guilty. I only know two people's phone numbers, so I don't know if you guys know anybody else's
I
phone
I
only
number.
know.
know two people's.
I
That's
think
my limit
too.
right there. I stopped remembering it. But guess, no, I remember three. I still have my old phone number from back when I went to college over 30 years ago. I
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, but
Why? Because I
remember when
used
we
that
knew
Harris
25
teeter.
phone numbers? Remember
Yeah.
when we knew 25 phone numbers? Like you knew
Uh-huh.
your grandma, your
Yeah,
uncles, your
You
aunties.
could
Everybody's.
spit them
I
out
yeah,
think
like
this
no time.
technology has
technology.
created something too for us that we
Right.
need to be conscious and aware of in terms of our memory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Well,
also
yeah.
I would like to let you all know when you spoke about memory. I do want to let you know because maybe a lot of people don't know that dementia is caused by Alzheimer's. So
Mhm.
what you could do and there is no cure, but what you just mentioned for real is that Diamond, you can volunteer. You can also do puzzles, crossword puzzles, board
Yes,
games,
I do all that.
quizzes, cards too, and also exercise too. That helps you to. It all helps with managing dementia. And I do want to let you know that facts. 16% of residents 65 and older living in Prince George's County have been diagnosed with dementia.
Wow.
And blacks,
65%.
16% of the
16. Oh, that's
16%
too
of
high.
residents are 65
That's still
years and
high.
older. And also, I want to let you know that blacks are twice as likely to have dementia than any of the other populations. So
Hmm.
that's another thing. It
And I
almost
think that
reminds you.
kind of
And it's
ties into what Charlene was saying
Yes.
earlier. I
With
think we
stress.
suffer more trauma, right? So
right.
I
That
think
part
there
right
could be
there.
some
And
correlation
Yeah.
to,
and
Mhm.
also we have to look at our diet because
Your
yes,
that's
diet.
also because
Mhm.
they talk about, I've heard about mucus on the brain. So we have to eat
Yeah.
more clear foods because everything, especially meats, the
Yeah.
protein develops,
Hmm.
stays on your brain,
That's right.
longer.
Right.
Hmm.
So you
Hmm.
do have to watch what you eat throughout your whole lifetime because as these things build up, like any other condition, a lot of them are caused by our diet, especially African Americans, because we do have an intense oily diet, just like American diet, because that's where we got it from.
Hmm.
So therefore we have to watch because we eat too much mac and cheese.
Right. And
I
also
know.
just be aware too that dementia and Alzheimer's, that is not part of the a normal aging process.
Mm.
It is not.
Hmm.
So it's not something to anticipate. But again,
Yeah.
we know the cause and we know what we can do: diet, exercise, and
Right.
stimulating our minds. And
Yes.
also, as you say, not being alone. Try to get with a social network, whether
Yeah.
you volunteer or
That
go out once a week with friends, but
that
that's
helps the blood
important.
flow. Yes, we
Yeah,
need
your
Yeah.
blood
it's going
flow.
to excite us, get the blood flowing.
Yeah.
We definitely
Mhm.
need that because I know myself when I'm down, and I have for the first time after COVID, I started getting depression and anxiety. But I
Mhm.
found when I talked to somebody on the phone, interacted with humans during that time,
Right.
that kind of got me going for
Mhm.
the day.
Human
So
connection is so vital.
it's
Like
so
that's
important.
what
Yes.
I was sharing with someone. I went out on a meeting yesterday and I said, I needed this. Like I haven't been
Yeah.
doing a lot of in-person
Yes.
meetings. So I realized like it's important that we get back to that. But the sister, she has when is your is it your movie
Event.
coming up?
The movie.
Your event?
Yeah.
Play, Miss Pinson.
Oh, for the Christmas room?
Yes.
Yes.
So we are tentatively having it. We're tentatively hoping to get it out on December 16th for a premiere, but it
Mhm.
won't be completely available until 2024.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So,
So
and
we
also,
have time, and we'll bring you back so that you can remind us about that.
and you will
Yeah.
have to make sure you come to see it because Kathy's also in it, and she has a
Yes, and
Yeah,
Kathy's
we
going to
gotta
be is
support
one of
our
the
Write that
stars
sister.
in the
down.
movie.
she has a
Right,
key role in the movie
right.
too. Yes.
Well, we want to thank you so much for coming and
Yeah.
starting this conversation because that
Yes.
is a conversation that we all, as with our families, we need to have that conversation and
Yeah.
know the
Absolutely do.
signs. And I'm sure this movie is going to bring
And a
uh,
lot of
a
awareness.
lot of light on dementia in
And how
families.
and we
Yeah. How
also
can
want to know, how can people follow you, find
follow
out more
you?
information about you and the upcoming movie?
You can follow me on Instagram at Shooting Future Stars, and it's the same logo, so you'll see that, and Shooting Future Stars on Facebook as well.
Okay.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Well,
Thank you
thank you
so
so
much.
Thanks for
Thank you
much.
this.
so
Thank
much.
Thank
you.
you.
You're very
Yes.
welcome. And one more thing, I'm encouraging everybody to add walnuts to their diet.
Oh,
Yes.
walnut.
Walnuts?
Yes.
What's going on with
Walnut. That's
walnuts?
that
Talk to
brain
me.
food.
It helps with your
Oh,
brain.
it
Yes.
has
It
a
helps with the
chemical
brain.
in there that connects with brain activity.
And it looks like a brain. Just think about how it looks.
It does.
Absolutely. You
Yep.
Yeah.
better
And
go
Yeah.
ahead
And they
Yeah.
said
on.
avocados is good too for the brain, right? Avocado.
It's
That's
Absolutely.
good,
like a
but it
brain
is
too.
it's supposed
yeah.
to be good also, but you have to
Anything that
watch
look
the
like a
fats.
brain.
It's a good
Anything look
fat,
like a
but it
brain.
does have
Yeah.
fat. But it
But
does
thank
like a
you
brain.
all for having me. I
Thank
really
you.
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Mignon.
And you all enjoy the rest of your
Oh,
weekend.
You too.
You too.
absolutely.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
All
Oh,
right.
that was so fun,
That
guys. That
was
was fun,
fun.
Hmm.
Linda.
That
Hmm.
That
was
was so.
very
Thank you, Kathy.
informative. Thank you,
Hmm.
You
Kathy.
guys stay in touch. NIH has these research out on the declarative memory dysfunctions with
Hmm.
TS or PSTD. So guys, please check that out.
Well,
It's
Yeah.
a
what I,
serious
what I
Yes.
thing.
also want to
We're
share with you guys is when I have my event, which is coming up on November 11th, we are going to have a expert speak on dementia. She knows dementia. She's written books on it. And we're going to have members from the NIH team coming out with resources on dementia as well. In
that
addition
thank you
to
for
comedians, music vendors, and all other kind of fun.
thank you for that
Yeah.
information. Okay,
Yeah.
we want to bring our next guest on, Miss Shaw, the life coach. She's
Oh,
back in the green room, and we're
Yes.
waiting for her to come.
Sure. Yay.
Please, Miss Shaw, would you come on in, Dante? Ooh, testing. 1, 2, 3. Here she is. Yay!
okay.
Yay.
Hey, hi.
How
Welcome.
you doing,
Hello.
Shaw from Baltimore? Baltimore's in the house.
Okay.
Yes.
Welcome, welcome, Miss Shaw. How you doing? Coach Shaw, how you doing?
Thank you. I'm good. And I'm from California, but I live and work in Baltimore now, 2009.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
she's
Okay.
planted.
Welcome
She's a
to
planted
Maryland.
Baltimorean.
I am
Glad to hear
planted.
it.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on. We got, some of us got to see you at Cheryl Wood's event, and right away I said, we need this lady on our show because everyone is going through so much
Yeah.
negativity, grief, and everything else. So we need to know how to handle it. We need to know persons who deal with it, that we know that, who looks like us as well. And it's a female that can help and show us the way. And I'm going to let you basically talk about yourself. But I do know that you're a part of the Healing Life Coach school in Maryland. Our very own Dr. Ayana Van Zant. You're
Yes.
part of her team of learning. You sat at her knees to get your information. Tell us all about you, how you got started. I know you started off 10 years ago with depression. Let's start there.
Okay. Well,
And
first,
wherever you want to start.
okay. First, let me start off by saying, yes, my name is Coach Shar Robinson. I am a certified Kingdom Grief Life Coach. I help my clients to reset, heal, and begin again after loss. It can be the loss of a loved one or the loss of direction or purpose. I do this through my one-on-one sessions and my healing academy, and my clients come out ready to put the joy back into living. And I can say that I graduated from Iyanla Van Zant's life coach school, and it was I didn't go to be a life coach. I actually went to get healed, but she taught us how to become life coaches in this process. And it was a 2-year program. The first year was on site. The second year it was in Zoom because of COVID. Mm-hmm. But I can say that Iyanla fixed my life. I can't, but to God be the glory because he did it first. Mm-hmm. Yes. He led me to it and through it. But because of the show, I'm going to say that Iyanla fixed my life.
That is awesome.
I love
and
it.
now I'm helping other people to fix theirs through the skills and tools that I've learned through a mixture of what I learned from her and a mixture of things that I've learned to put together on my own. So I have a nice toolbox that is really helping people to live again and put the joy back into their life. And I was depressed for 10 years, 2009 to 2019, until I went to her program. I was a functional depressive person because I can say that I became an alcoholic. I can say that I was numb. I can say that I wasn't living on purpose. I wasn't happy. I wasn't joy-filled. I wasn't living intentional. And school became my coping skill because I could wear my mask through school. It took 20 years for me to get all my degrees.
It's okay. You got them.
That's okay. That's right.
I got 4 of them, but it took me a long time to get them. So school was kind of just like my normal. And I was raising my kids, and I homeschooled my kids for high school. And I was just going and doing. And it was easy to mask it, but I was suffering in silence on the inside. And until I went to that program, I didn't even know that I was depressed. And that's why I'm here to help people that are suffering in silence to come out of it, because again, nobody knew what I was going through. And even as a Christian who was experiencing church hurt and going to church out of religion now and not relationship because I was hurting, I lost my best friend to cancer in 2009, and nobody expected her to die. I mean, nobody. And she had the faith that that God tells us to have, and I just knew that she was going to make it. And when she died, I died on the inside too. And it really just took me down. I went my lowest that I've ever gone. But right after she died in 2009, my grandmother died of cancer, and that whole hospice experience stuff is just that tears people down. And a lot of people don't deal with it, and a lot of people don't talk about it. But helping and loving and watching your loved one die on hospice, that can be just so traumatic. But after my grandmother died, then on hospice, my stepfather died on hospice as well. And me and my mom was tag teaming, taking care of him, and watching him deteriorate just became another traumatic situation it was just, one thing after another. And then after he died, then I lost my mentor who was helping me to live again. She died in a tragic car accident. And I was like, oh my God, I just keep losing. And then my favorite aunties, and it just turned into a cycle of loss.
Yeah.
And God is using me now to turn that cycle of loss into a business. And I found my purpose. My misery became my ministry. And that's how I look at it, because God has used everything that I've been through. He's using it now for me to help others. And one thing that I like is that people say your story is about you, but it's not for you. And I get that now, because the stories that I have is really not about me, but it's to help somebody else. And that's what I'm doing now. And I appreciate it. I'm blessed. But I did bring 6 tips, 6 healthy coping skills to help people to deal with grief. If you all are ready to hear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put your pen and pencils out, everybody.
Got my pen and pencil.
Yeah, I got my pen and pencil.
I'm ready. Bring it, honey. I got my favorite journal right here, my healing meditation journal. Come on.
I got my sisters live.
I got mine. We ready.
We ready.
Okay.
Ready. Come on, Dr. Shaw.
Everybody at home, we hope you're ready too. Come on.
Get your pencil and paper out. You'll need it. So tip number 1 is grieve intentionally. Grieving intentionally is really about having happiness triggers available to you at all times. So write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on your piece of paper, and you're going to create 5 happiness triggers of your own as I tell you what my 5 happiness triggers are. And keep in mind that the opposite of grief is joy, happiness, and blessings. So we're trying to create joy, happiness, and blessings in your life while you are grieving. It's possible. So, for example, my first happiness trigger is scheduling a daycation, a vacation, or a staycation. I have timeshare in Atlantic City, so going down there, enjoying the boardwalk, the casinos, even though I don't gamble, but I do enjoy, the live environment and all of the good food that's up in there. I really do enjoy that. But I enjoy the atmosphere, and it's my home away from home. So find you a home away from home. Number 2 is lit candles. I love lit candles. They make me feel like I'm at home. I travel a little bit, and every time I'm in a hotel, I have to have a candle with me, and it just really makes me feel at home. When I'm home, I have my candle lit because of the aromatherapy, and it just brings peace, happiness, and joy and blessings into my space. And that's what we want. That's what we want.
Right.
Also, number 3 is a coloring book, markers, or word search, because I love coloring and it brings out my inner child, and it just, it just does something to my mind for me to be able to have that peace of being able to color and enjoy the markers and create. God created us to be creators. So, get into that zone where you can create and enjoy yourself alone, because some of us spend most of our time alone. I'm an empty nester. So I have to learn how to enjoy my home alone.
Right.
Number 4 is hiking or walking. I have discovered hiking in my life. I'm loving climbing mountains, especially in the summertime. I get to go back to California every summer because I'm an educator and I work and live at a boarding school. So I have an interesting lifestyle, but I have adapted hiking. So I encourage people to start enjoying the outdoors, put on them hiking boots, put on that, that backpack, and go out there and explore nature and get closer to God, because I pray and I praise out there and I just really enjoy it. And me and my mom have a fascination for trees. So it's just, find what you have a fascination in.
I do too.
Know what you like.
Me too.
Yeah.
I feel like they are like people. They have souls, right?
Yes.
And I have my favorite trees, and I always say I have to get my nature medicine, right? Because that's where I started to heal, went through my healing journey. And I didn't even realize it, but I started to have to just get out there. It was like it was drawing me. Once I started, because our culture, we weren't raised, a lot of us, in nature. So in the cities and stuff that we grew up, and then we were also raised to stay out of the woods. It's dangerous. You don't need to be in those woods.
Don't go out there.
Not me.
We missed out. We missed out on that nature healing. So I love you. That's a part of yours.
Yeah. And
So,
don't forget, Terry Tabor. She loves trees, and
Loves
her
trees.
new
And
book
her
Yeah,
art.
that's
is
her
about
art.
trees.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, her art is about
she
Yeah.
that.
made
Yeah.
actually Terry made me look at trees in a whole different way.
And
Yeah.
you
I look
can.
at them like
Yeah.
people, like
I,
souls, like old souls.
I've
Yeah.
Very
always wanted
expressive.
to live near a tree. I want to be able to, even in my bathroom, I always every morning pull up the shade so I can see all the trees because it's just
Oh,
It's
life.
beautiful. And
Yeah.
it's
Maryland is
beautiful.
green. I
And,
love
and
Maryland.
I'm in
Coming from
Yeah.
DC, so you know
California.
it's hard to get a tree close to you. So
Okay.
I grew up being able to look out that window and see trees, and I'm back at that
Mhm.
That's
house,
a
so I'm
beautiful
loving it.
thing.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I've learned the beauty of trees and green because California is dead and brown. We don't get the
Oh
rain.
wow.
I was
Oh
so
wow.
disappointed the first time I went. No, I tell you, I take that back. First time I went to California, I started in San Diego. It was green,
It
green,
depends on when
and
you
more
come.
green. But when I finally made it to LA, when I finally made it up to Hollywood,
Mhm.
I said, "What?
Yeah.
What? Where's the
Mhm.
Where's the
green?"
trees?
And there's palm
It
trees
comes and
everywhere.
goes.
It comes and
Mhm.
goes, yeah.
Yeah, it
But it
depends on
was
what neighborhood
the
you in and how the water
TV.
flowing.
TV spoils you because you think everything is green from TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You think everything is a lot of things on TV,
I
okay? But
know.
it's not.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
everybody should have 4 written down, and my 5th one is playing Jim Rummy because I love to
What?
play cards. I grew up at the
Girl,
card
I'm
table.
a spades
Oh,
girl.
you
I
said
So
you play
used to
Yeah.
be, but
cards?
I'm enjoying Jim Rummy now.
I never
Oh
played
my
Jim
God.
Rummy.
I play
Yeah.
me neither.
solitaire. Is solitaire count? Does solitaire count?
Yeah,
Solitaire,
okay.
I play that on my phone. But
Yeah,
that's
I
the
play that.
point. Find
Yeah.
what you enjoy and do more of it because we should
Yeah.
not be sitting, being stuck in our subconscious mind and being dragged into the matrix all day
Yeah.
without knowing what we can do to come out of it. And that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
people who are grieving doing. If you ask somebody that's in chronic grief, they don't even know. They can't even tell you what they like. That's what I
Right.
found. So these happiness triggers are important.
Well, that
Yeah.
happiness trigger with the cards. My mother was a card player. I used to always be dragged to be with
Yeah.
her friends so they could play
Yes.
bid whist.
I
Yeah.
know,
But
but they're the
but
coolest
when she was
people.
alone and at home, she played solitary. I never
Yes.
learned,
Honey,
but that's
I
what
And
she
play
that keeps
played.
your
solitaire.
brain, that helps with your
That's
brain power
right. That's
too.
she
Yes.
lived to be
Yeah.
94. So if that's word search
Yeah.
and those cards, that's
Yeah.
solitary. That's what she played all the
Gotta
time
keep
by
you
herself.
busy and keep
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
mind busy. Amen.
Well,
And
my
remember
friend.
back in the day they used to knit and crochet or whatever
She
that
did
was.
that
Yeah.
too. She
Yeah.
crocheted. Yes.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say my friend had lost her husband on the anniversary of their on their anniversary. She just
Ooh.
lost him like the month before. So I told her to come and get in the water. I told her come with me and let's go to the pool. And she was so happy, and that made her feel so much better. I think water soothes too.
Yes.
I need water. Did she do the aqua spin?
No, she just got in the water. I just wanted her to just come in the water, just
Yeah.
float and just be in the water, and it
Well,
really
Yeah.
made her
figure it
feel
out.
better.
So relaxing. That's why I like your number one. I'm going to put mine to have a beach home. I always wanted a beach home, but I need a beach
I want
getaway.
one too.
A beach getaway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody should have 5 happiness triggers now. I don't know if we'll have time to share them, but if we do, then you all can share them. But tip number 2 is be intentional. Be intentional about how you feel because what we feel is actually what we're thinking. So what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
Yes.
What are you
Yes.
thinking? A lot of people who are experiencing chronic grief, they're not thinking right. They're thinking that life is over, like they can't be happy again, like
Mm-hmm.
so just like they're not themselves anymore. And
Yeah.
it's important for us to be intentional about what we're thinking. And for example, I've learned to wake up with an intention. For example, it is my intention to complete my priorities today so I experience joy, fun, and laughter. Sometimes you have to remind yourself that I want to experience joy. I want to have fun and I want to laugh. It's okay to laugh when you're grieving, but you have to be intentional about creating that or you're going to go back into that subconscious and unconscious mind and you are in the matrix after that. And then nothing is being done except what you have to do, but you're not living anymore. Because
Right.
you can go to work depressed. I found that out. I can go to
I,
work
I,
fast. I can go to sleep.
that resonates with me so much because I think about our culture and community. We're like so adverse to joyful things. Like we'll be like, "Oh, what you laughing at? Why are you so happy?" I mean, we're so not
It used to be a white
intentional about
thing.
our joy, and you everything. It's not that serious. You so happy, and we have to start to love more and release ourselves to do that. So I mean that aligns so much with me, and I'm always telling people I live intentional. So
That's it. The new
it's
normal.
very important. Yes, 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 yes. So I love that.
Oh,
Thank you. Number three, tip number three is journal, journal, journal. I found that journaling is the first place and the safest place that I can go to give myself a mental check-in. And Iyanla Van Zant said that most of our tears come from our inability to tell our story. Most of us don't have nobody to tell our story to, and process our pain and give us some understanding. A lot of us are not being understood. Now, mind you, I had a family, but they didn't know my best friend like I knew my best friend. They didn't understand my pain at all. I feel like I really grieved in silence. I suffered in silence because nobody knew what I was going through at all. And I
Yeah.
went to a therapist, and my therapist, the first year in 2009, when I went to a therapist, I remember I left her at the end of 2010 because she had to go somewhere else. But she told me, she said, Shar, you don't need me no more. Because I was going every week, but I was addicted then to seeing my therapist too, because I enjoyed her and she listened to me and she helped me to process my pain and give me understanding. But she told me, she said, you don't have to be dependent on me no more. She said, because you got God. She said, most of my clients don't have God. And that really stuck with me because I'm like, wow, that was the
Yeah.
answer to my problem, was living in faith and living on a frequency of understanding that I did
Yes.
have something that, some other people didn't have, that I could hang my hat on. But, it was still a process. But I just want to encourage people to journal, because that's how you process your feelings. That's how you process your pain. But you probably gonna need some help too, because the things that I learned is that I was angry with God, and I just had a lot of stuff going on that wasn't coming out anywhere else. So just
Yeah.
be mindful that journaling will at least give you a mental and emotional check-in. And if you check yourself, that means don't nobody else have to check you, and that's important.
that's important. All
I
right. All
love
right.
it. I
All
love
right.
it.
We're almost
Yes.
to the end.
Okay.
Yes.
Tip number 4, consider hiring a coach. And I must say, I had a life coach and a therapist at the same time, but my coach saw my soul cry differently than my therapist did. So I just want to tell y'all, don't sleep on coaches. Make sure that don't get the first one, because I've had several through my journey, but a couple times I did get the first one and it didn't always work out for my good, but I enjoyed the experience, because I can let y'all know to be careful who you hire, because everybody won't hear your soul cry the same. So again, don't sleep on coaches. My tip number 5 is recognize choice is your power. A lot of times we make choice from a place of powerlessness and fear and trauma. So it's important for us to make powerful choices. For example, being a new life coach, just certified in 2022, and having a new healing academy. I'm learning how to speak more, and to come out and to advertise and to let my voice be heard, because I lost my voice. But a powerful choice is being here on 4SistersLIVE today and letting people know that I'm here and I can help and serve my community. So learn how to make choices from power and not powerlessness. And tip number 6 is wake up grateful, wake up grateful, wake up grateful. And that's the same thing to me as waking up intentional, because you have to know that if you're waking up grateful, then you're not going to be waking up, upset and in frustration and sad and in fear. But another thing that I do is I wake up intentionally and I have a smile on my face before I even get out the bed. And that's letting my body know that we gonna be good today. That
Yes.
smile is medicine, I feel like, for my soul. So I want to encourage and challenge you all to wake up with a smile on your face before you get out the bed. Pray and praise and be intentional and know that you can live and you are living, and that grief is not going to have you at all. Live on purpose, not in pieces. Amen.
Oh, all right. Ooh, this was powerful,
Amen.
and I hate for it to end, but we got to go, and we're going to bring you back because you know what? We have a little segment that we do every now and then called the
I
Power
know
of
we
10.
can use her as our tip.
The
You
power
know,
of
our
10
tip.
moments. We need this motivation,
We need
and
her.
we're
We need
loving
Dr.
it.
Sharp
Amen.
to come
Yes,
in.
It's
and
time for us to go, but I want to show she has her new
Talk
baby
show.
that's starting coming up. Dante, can you put it on the screen right fast for us? Because she is a coach, so we do want to consider Coach Shaw as our first choice, second choice, or third choice.
Yeah.
Dante, do you have that the photograph?
thank you so much for those tips, and they were in alignment. Some things is confirmation; they were good confirmations.
Yeah, here
They
it
were
is.
Thank you.
excellent.
I have
Here
more.
it is.
This
Beginning
beginning
That's
again.
cute.
with Coach Shar.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm starting to record next month, and I'm looking forward to helping people to share their stories and heal.
Yes,
No more numbness. We got too many people walking around numb. Come out of
Yep.
numbness.
All
Zombies.
right. So
Amen.
yes, keep this in mind, and if you missed it or if you missed part of it, just do this show again. I think we'll be
Yeah.
listening to this all week because we need all these tips we need. Thank you, Dante, and
Thank
it's
you.
just been absolutely great meeting you, experiencing what you do, and you will be hearing from us again.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
so
Coach
much.
Shaw.
Peace and love to you,
Yes.
sis.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Peace and blessings to you.
All right. We'll see you next week, actually, at the educational segment. So you guys come on by. We got Dr. Barbara is going to be there because we're having an SBA meeting, and it is going to have all the greats there. That's with the Sister for Sisters Network. So we're looking forward to you actually showing up and being here next Saturday as we hear from the Barbara Robinson or a couple of other great SBA leaders. And again, it's the Business Development Mentorship Accelerator. If you want to learn more about how that works and what that looks like, be here next Saturday on the educational segment. That's me, guys. And Linda, back to you.
Oh, okay. We asked for the contact information for Coach Shaw. I believe that's what she
Yeah,
wanted.
so she has it. So we'll post it in
Well,
here down in the comments, and we
Yes.
got you covered, guys.
we got
All
you
right,
covered.
Linda. What
All
time
right.
is it?
Well, what time is it? I'd like to thank our guest host and co-host,
Yes.
Diamond. Thank you,
Yay,
Kathy. Thank you
Diamond.
for
Thank
sitting in
you.
for the sisters. And just want to know, ladies, what time is it? It's time for
Time
you
for
you
you
to
to
It's
walk
time.
walk in your
in
in
your
your
purpose
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 and
Yes.
and
prosperity.
prosperity.
We see you next Saturday. God
Thank
bless
you, ladies. Peace and
Goodbye.
love.
Bye.
This has been fun.
Yeah.